All right, Reggie will join us coming up here in a moment. NBA Finals Game 1 tonight, Mavs and the Celtics. By the way, the Gambling Podcast, we'll tape that after the show, coming up in about 45 minutes from now. It'll be available at danpatrick.com, along with our other great podcast up there. Got some John Boy podcast up there, so take a look. Also, sign up for the DP Show newsletter. The Mavs are getting 6.5 against the Celtics. Mavs have been very, very good in this postseason on the road. This is one of those where if you think the Lakers are going to lose at home, this would be the game that I would think. Because it would be, all right, we're waiting. They are on the road, not sure who's healthy, who's playing. And then all of a sudden, Luka and company, they get going. Maybe Kyrie gets rolling as well. So that'll be coming up tonight. Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer, joining us on the program. Turner Sports NBA analyst. All right. Danny Hurley to the Lakers, question mark, and your reaction is?
I like this coming out of left field for the Lakers. I think the prevailing thought, and from what everyone's been talking about and reading, is that it was, J.J. Redick's to lose, right? And I kind of like the outside-the-box thinking from the Lakers here on Dan Hurley. Look, the landscape of college basketball, as we've known over the last few years, has changed because of NIL. And I could see a lot of these coaches that are the upper tier starting to look at the NBA a little bit because of the changes, coming down in college athletics. I think this would be a fantastic hire for the Lakers if you could get a chance to get Dan Hurley, because to me, not only is he a great X's and O's guys, but he is a development of men. And if you watch any of their practices and see how they play, their offense and their defense is a lot like a pro offense. And you got to be able to find players that, number one, are smart enough to be able to run it. I think it would be a great hire. And if Dan Hurley is – now, I don't know if he's looking for a bigger pay cut or a bigger payday from UConn, like using this as leverage. But if he is serious about coaching at the highest level, which is the NBA game, this would be a fantastic leap for him. He has nothing else to prove in college, back-to-back champions at UConn. So he doesn't have anything to prove anymore. The next step for him would be, and how about this? Your first gig in a pro would be the Lakers.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on now. And coaching LeBron and AD. Why not?
Okay, what's the downside?
It's the Lakers. And with that comes a lot of scrutiny. Every single practice, every single game, every single press conference becomes a big thing because, number one, you're on the clock because it's a countdown to the end of LeBron's career. He's probably going to retire a Laker. So that takes a life and a meaning of its own. But again, there's always more plus size because you're playing for a franchise with 16, 17 banners hanging in the rafters with all those Hall of Fame jerseys hanging up there as well that you can rely on. To me, there's more pluses. I'm sure a lot of people in left field will be like, he has no NBA experience. What is he doing? This is going to be Rick Pitino and John Calipari all over again. Maybe they're right. Maybe so. But I just think Dan Hurley would be a fantastic fit for the Lakers.
Would Dan Hurley be better for Bronny James or LeBron James?
Maybe both. Look, it's no secret the Lakers in the second round have, the 50th, 52nd pick, something like that.
Fourth, I think, yeah.
Okay. And LeBron has made no secret that he wants to play with his son. I think you can achieve both here, as well as get Dan Hurley. Again, but this is all about the bigger James as opposed to the smaller James.
Okay, but would you have a problem as an established veteran if Indiana would have brought in a college coach, like Brad Stevens would have left Butler, let's say, at the height of when he was there at Butler and took over the Pacers? How would that go over with you, Mark Jackson, the Davis brothers, Rick Smits?
If Brad Stevens would have had 2 championships behind him, I mean, you can't fault what Dan Hurley has done. And I think having those two back-to-back chips and the success he's had at UConn, I think that gives him a little bit of a cachet if you're coming into the Lakers. And again, if you watch UConn, if you watch them play and you watch their offense, it is very sophisticated. And I think it's next level. And I think that could be applied to LeBron and AD and moving forward.
Can you explain that, though, Reg? Because I likened it to the triangle offense that Phil had, that he had to get his players to buy in Chicago and L.A. I don't know what this reincarnation of NBA offense is. What exactly is Dan Hurley teaching that can translate to the NBA?
Well, his offense is a lot from the European teams. He went over to Europe and really stole a lot of their offense. It's a lot of cutting, moving. The ball doesn't stick. And what I think and how it can be applied and be great for the Lakers is that you are going to be putting your two best players, LeBron and AD, with the shot clock running down. You're going to put them in actions to be successful. And it's a lot like, as you mentioned, the triangle where it starts on one side, but your two players have so much influence when the ball comes back to them being able to make a quick decision, which LeBron and AD do, and being able to score in traffic and make plays for others. Now, they will have to do a little bit more with the roster because they're going to have to find a little bit more shooting. That's something that the Lakers haven't had over the last few years. They've got to find better shooting and probably an established point guard to help run this offense as well.
How do you think J.J. Redick feels today?
I don't think he's still out of the running here. These are just reports.
But he was
right?
supposed to be getting the job. It felt like a mere formality. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting dressed up for your press conference, and then they say, well, slow that down a little bit. Slow that down. Don't put on a tie.
I think JJ has bigger things to think about with the NBA Finals getting ready to start here for the next 2 weeks or so. I'm sure his head is kind of focused that way. But in the back of his mind, sure, yes. I mean, now there's another player in the situation here and a guy in Dan Hurley who's well-established, who has actually coached the team before. So, yeah, I'm sure he's not feeling great, but his name is still in the running here. It's down to these two, I would assume.
Talking to Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer. We have game one tonight in Boston. Dallas has been a really good road team. What is the key to being a really good road team?
I think blocking out all the white noise. And you've got two guys on their team who really don't care, who can play at home and is just as effective on the road in Luka and Kyrie. And it's interesting, and I tell people this all the time, Luka has played in more and bigger games overseas when he was 15 or 16 turning pro in the EuroLeague. And if you've ever seen any of those games and those fan bases for those EuroLeague games, it makes our fans look like child's play. So he's been in bigger environments. Yes, this is the NBA Finals, and this is the crowning jewel of basketball. But Luka has played in bigger games on the road in EuroLeague at a younger age. So this is not going to faze him. And with Kyrie coming back to Boston with everything that transpired on his exodus out, him stomping on Lucky at center court and all that, that just adds to the drama. Kyrie won't be phased. And the rest of those Mavericks, they follow those two guys. So I don't think being on the road is going to faze them whatsoever.
Do you think that LeBron really feels that Kyrie is the most talented player, most gifted player, that he's more talented, more gifted than LeBron is? Yes.
I mean, obviously he played with him. He won a championship with him. He saw him on an everyday basis.
But what's that mean, gifted? I mean, LeBron is
gifted. In terms of ball handling, finishing, shooting, shot creating, shot making. I think he's adding all that into the mix here. Look, he's not 6'8", 240, 230, and built like a tank, and has played 21 years. LeBron's a different breed too now, but I think he's talking in terms of total package, his ball handling, his shot making, creating.
Is he more gifted than Steph?
I think he's on the same level as Stephen in terms of creativity with the basketball, his shot making.
Yeah.
Obviously, Steph is, to me, a better shooter, but I would put Kyrie right up there. I think the comparison a lot of people are saying is that he is a smaller version of Kobe Bryant. I think a lot of people like to make that comparison in terms of ball handling, being able to create your own shot, being able to finish in difficult environments in the paint. Kobe, Kyrie, even MJ a little bit, but though MJ wasn't handling like Kyrie. Kyrie is a savant with the basketball.
Okay. How did the Celtics not win this series, Reg?
Wow. It's theirs for the taking, but look, to me, this is all going to come down to two things. How the Celtics play Dallas in the pick and roll, because you only have three options. You're going to blitz, you're going to trap, you're going to drop. Those are your only three options. And which one, and of the three, there's one that I would do every single time, and that's blitz. I would blitz Luka, I would blitz Kyrie and make those centers, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, make them be playmakers. And if they find PJ Washington, if they find Josh Green, if they find Derrick Jones in the corner, and those dudes make shots, we were going to lose anyway. But if you drop or if you switch, Luka and Kyrie are going to have a field day. We've already seen the blueprint. We saw it versus OKC, and we certainly saw it versus Minnesota when Rudy Gobert was trying to guard Luka in the drop, or they were hard hedging, and we saw every single scenario, and he destroyed them. To me, blitz, get the ball out his hands, and make those centers become playmakers. And if they make plays, you're going to lose anyways. So be it.
I'm wondering about this, that I think Joker's the best player in the world, but it felt like he needed to win a title to have that official label. And now you're the best player. If Luka wins the title this year, now he hadn't won an MVP, but it feels like he's on the verge of, or people are waiting for him to be on the verge of being the best player in basketball. Whether he is or not, winning that title all of a sudden validates, authenticates you. Would Luka be considered the best player in basketball if Dallas wins the title?
100%, Daniel. Right. And if you listen to Jason Kidd, he has alluded and said this all along. He's like, the league is actually giving you the keys to the kingdom, young man. All you need to do is finish the job. And by finishing the job, that's by winning the championship. And think about the road that the Dallas Mavericks has had to take to get to the NBA Finals. They beat a 50-plus win team in the Clippers, a 50-plus win team in the number one seed OKC Thunder, a 50-plus win team in Minnesota. Now you're going against the juggernaut, the team that's tied with the most NBA championships in the Boston Celtics. You're starting on the road once again. This is the fourth series that they will have started on the road. If they can find a way to win this, yes, he now becomes part of the face, along with the Joker as the face of the NBA. But you got to win the chip. You've got to win the chip for that to happen.
When you played in the NBA Finals, I think Shaq was 27.
Oh, man. And Kobe was 19 or 20.
He was 21, I think, during the finals.
Damn you. Damn you. But here you go again. Here you go again. You're going to make me feel bad. Go ahead, Theodore.
Okay, if I didn't face, I haven't faced Shaq. You did. Shaq at 27. What was that like when you go into the finals and you know that dude is omnipresent? He's there and he's not leaving.
I'm telling you this. Larry Bird came to Mark Jackson and I, along with Rick Carlisle, and was like, we have no answer for Shaq. We're not going to have any answer in this series. What we're going to do, Sam Perkins, Rick Smits, Dale Davis, we're just going to hack a Shaq, and he's going to have to make free throws. if you go back and look, and Paulie, I want you to look this up as we're talking. I believe he averaged 25 to 30 free throws in that series. I believe game 1 or game 2, he may have shot 40 plus free throws. We were just going to foul him, and if he made free throws, great. We had no answers. It was trying to stop the Rick Foxes, the Glenn Rices, the Kobe's, everyone else. We felt then we had a shot, but we had no answer because other than Wilt, and none of us played against Wilt or really saw Wilt, he's been the most dominant force in our game. And there was no answer for him. So all we tried to do was just hack a shack him.
He averaged, you know what he averaged in that series?
Yeah, like 35,
Nope.
18, and 5 blocks.
I think he averaged 38 and 17.
Look, I said 35 and 17. I'm sorry, Shaq. 38.
What?
You said 38,
38 and
17.
How many blocks did he average, Paul?
3.
Okay. Only 3.
How many free throws did he average, Paulie?
He attempted 93 free throws in 6 games. He shot 39% from the free throw line.
What's the most free throws he took in a game? Reggie said he might have taken 40. I was at those games.
I have 22 in a game.
He shot game 1 or game 2. Look at how many free throw attempts did he shoot? Free throw attempts, not makes.
He didn't make 22 in the whole playoffs. I got Shaq. Hold on. He attempted. Hold on. This can't be right. Hold on.
I'm telling you, he shot 30-something.
It might be right. I remember he went to the line a lot because I was at that series, but I don't.
I'm telling you, he shot 30-plus free throws.
Paulie, what do you have?
In game 2, Shaq was 18 for 39 from the free throw line.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Reg, that's impossible to go 18 of 39.
Oh, my. Think about shooting 39 free throws.
Well, no, if he could make free throws, then he wouldn't have shot 39 free throws. The fact that he couldn't is why he shot 39 free throws.
True.
Damn. 18. Your son can shoot better than Shaq did from the line. Right?
Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Your wife could probably shoot better than Shaq from the line.
But we couldn't stop him down low.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Shaq was only 26 then?
27.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 27.
27. Jeez. What, man, those dudes should have stayed. They could have been, or they are considered one of the greatest duos of all time. But just imagine if they would have stayed together a few more years.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking.
Best duo is Mike and Scotty.
If you're going by chips and all that, you got to put them up there. But I'm putting Kobe and Shaq, man. They were different. I know. I was close to it.
Okay, more dominant. Okay, who would scare you more? You're going against Scotty and Mike or Shaq and Kobe?
I went against them both, and they both beat my head in.
Okay.
I went against them both.
Okay, but who would you rather have faced? If I said you can pick, you got Mike and you got Scotty, you got Shaq and Kobe.
I still would want to face 27-year-old Shaq and 21-year-old Kobe because he's still a little green, Kobe was, right? He grew into one of the greatest of all time, but he was still young when I faced him. Going against Mike and Scotty, they were already there. They were already at the mountaintop.
Great to talk to you. Always
love you, man.
Always appreciate it. And
who do you have? Who do you have winning this NBA Finals?
I have the Celtics.
I have Dallas in 6.
Dallas is a great. Well, okay. If Boston wins, then we finally put it to bed, and then we recognize this group for doing something pretty incredible.
Right.
If Dallas wins, you got the Kyrie story, you got Luka's story, J. Kidd's story. That's there's a lot more storylines I can run with if Dallas wins. And then, of course, the pressure that the Mavs winning puts on the Dallas Cowboys, which is what everybody's going to jump to that conclusion.
Absolutely, yes. Everyone's going to look at Dak like, Dak?
Yeah.
Dak.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on,
You're
Dak.
on Dak.
Luka did it. Luka did it.
Let's go.
Up to you. All right. Thank you, Reg. We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you, Theodore, and my Danette.
That's Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer, Turner Sports NBA analyst. We'll take a break. Last call for phone calls right after this.